furnace.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinder Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting hindermotorcompany.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
And the top overall pick in this year's draft is the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. That's right, it's number one in my heart. This is Scotty Vegas, and we're hosting a special draft show and watch party starting at 7 p.m. Thursday, April 24th for the first round of the draft. Watch and place wagers on the picks with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and a live show at 7 at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark Bismarck. 6 years ago, Artemi Panarin set a Blue Jackets single-season record with 59 assists. Last night, Zach Werenski tied the mark with his 59th. He also scored his 23rd goal of the season as the Jackets whipped the Islanders 6-1 in the season finale at Nationwide Arena. Sillinger, Fabro, Voronkov, Corrali, and Fantilli also scored goals for Columbus. In baseball, Jake Fraley's grand slam in the 8th gave the Reds a 7-5 lead, but Seattle tied it with 2 solo homers in the 9th and then scored 4 times in the 10th to win 11-7 in Cincinnati. The Reds committed 4 errors, which led to 6 unearned Mariners runs. In Baltimore, Guardian starter Tanner Bybee surrendered 3 homers in a 6-2 loss to the Orioles. Ryan O'Hearn's 3-run homer in the 3rd turned Cleveland's 2-1 lead into a 4-2 deficit. The Sports Center is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Second hour of the program, Jeff Svoboda coming up later on in the next segment. Then we'll have Austin Ward on as well. Make sure you stick around, too, because A.J. Hawk joins us at 8:30, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I should ask.
We can ask him about some of the Kellen Winslow stuff since this was the day Kellen was drafted.
I feel like we should be doing more celebrating of Corso than talking about Winslow. No?
Yeah, but we can do both. There's plenty of time.
And Roethlisberger, we talked about him a little bit too much also. But anyway.
No, listen, Ben, Hall of Famer, you're a Steelers fan.
Yes, Hall of Famer, yes, no doubt, Hall of Famer.
Eli Manning, Hall of Famer.
No, unless you're plunking him with him. Let's do a re-rack.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
So you're diving in. Well, Jackets win 6-1. Season's over. Won 40 games. Won 6 in a row to finish it out. Scoreless in the first. Dominate them in the second. 5-1. Lop on another one in the third. Awesome. I'm happy they finished the season that way. It was great to see. Awesome to see, just that they kept the momentum despite they were playing for nothing. Because they haven't won 40 games, I think, since 18-19. So it's been 6 years.
19. Right. 2019, not 18-19. Yeah.
No, like 8.
Oh, 18-19. I got you. Okay, yeah.
The 18-19 season.
You're right.
So, or maybe it was 17-18, but it's been like 6-7 years.
Yes.
So that is significant. They didn't get to 90 points. They're at 89. They said, you get to 90, usually make the playoffs. That still wouldn't have been enough. They would have needed 1 more to tie and 2 to probably get in at that point. But since not sure how the tiebreaker, but by all accounts, I mean, outside of not making the playoffs, I would say this was as successful as a season as they could have had. They're not looking for that, boys. They're not looking for pats on the back, slap on the rear. But you know what? They did a heck of a job, and I was incredibly proud. The fact that they lost 4 of 16 after the Stadium Series game here,
right,
and then to finish it off on a 6-game heater, like this was the streakiest team. I mean, they're streakier than your underwear that often. I mean, it's the highs. They would win 5, or win 4 or 5, then lose 4 or 5. Then win 4 in a row, then lose 6 in a row. I mean, it was crazy. Snip, snap, back and forth all season long. Never was it win 2, lose 1, win 1, lose 2. I mean, it was just, you would go look at their schedule, a lot of green, a lot of red, a lot of green, a lot of red.
But by the way, Jet, though, what a hell of a finish by him. Last 5 games, he held 4 goals. Could be an answer at goal back there at Gold Center for the Jackets, maybe for next season. We'll see what happens. Like I say, we'll talk to Jeff Svoboda about that. Reds losing extras to the Mariners. They lost 11-7 in 10 innings. Reds are in Baltimore at 7:05 tonight. Shark, you been to Camden Yards?
I'm sorry, I had to put my headphones on. Yeah, a couple times.
Okay. As beautiful as you say it is, like, is it that great? Okay.
Yeah.
Guardians fell 6-2 to the Orioles. Guardians in Pittsburgh tonight at 6:40. CBJ had to get the win 6-1. Bobby just said Miami and Atlanta play tonight at 7 o'clock. An elimination game in the NBA. Followed by that'll be Dallas and Memphis. Losers are out.
Is this
winners
the playoffs now?
This is the play-in.
We're playing whatever.
Yeah, the winners are going to be the 8 seeds in their respective conferences.
Just tell me when the Cavs play and where to watch them.
When do the Cavs play, Shark? They play Sunday?
Sunday, yep. Easter Sunday they're playing. Lee Corso stepping down after 38 years with ESPN. We touched on that earlier in the show.
We're going to touch on it every hour. It's significant. He'd been with ESPN for over 35 years or 30, whatever it is. Close to 40, I think.
Yeah, 4 decades, almost 40 years, 38 years.
He's going to be 90 for his last appearance. And most likely that will be at the Ohio State-Texas game.
And he will put on the Brutus.
You think so?
I think so. I don't
know. You don't think he'll hop on Bevo?
I don't think so.
Are they bringing Bevo to the game?
I don't know if they're allowed to bring Bevo to the game. Are they?
Why not? You get him on a train?
I don't think
trailer him up here.
Do they take Bevo to all their road games? They took him to. I know they take him to Dallas, right? For the Cotton Bowl.
Well, they had the. I think. Was it the Cotton Bowl that they had Uga and Bevo, and that was the little
skirmish
there?
I don't know if that's what I didn't know if they took Bevo on road games. No, maybe they do.
They don't. I was joking.
I don't know, but they take him in Texas though. If they have a game in Texas, like a Texas Tech or an A&M game or something, would they take him there?
I don't think so. I don't think they're letting mascots like that in that stadium. I mean, I'm sure that they have a lot of stuff in Austin that they need that they would have to transport. I can't imagine that being the case.
Am I gullible for believing they would take him on the road? Like actually get.
I think it'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Brutus mount him up and ride him around. A little rodeo.
See, that would be fitting right there. If they had Bevo there.
Do you know what the significance of 8 seconds is?
8 seconds. Is that the bull fighting, like the bull riding thing? That's the thing. You got to be on there for 8 seconds.
Brutus go for 8 seconds.
That'd be great.
You know, that bobblehead just bobbling around out there. You know, it'd be really hard. You want a low center of gravity. And the way Brutus is constructed, the way God made him physically, his center of gravity is pretty high up since he's got that giant nut as a head.
Have you ever rode a mechanical bull?
Oh, how many times have I rode a mechanical
bull?
Really? That's the question. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
That was always my favorite thing. However, I may have retired. I've got like the sports hernia, and the last time I did it, my neighbor got it for his birthday. His wife got it for him. And I was
as a rental, not as a buy for good.
Yeah, no, they just rented it. Right. I was on there. Like, I used to be, like, I swam growing up. I had fairly strong groins. I think I have a good grip. I've got nice, got a good grip, good balance. And so I've always, like, fancied myself one of the better bull riders, mechanical bull riders, when I've been around it. The last time I did it, I had a hard time walking for like 3 days after. And I could not lift, could not run. I'm like, that may be the end of it. Because I had been drinking, I rode it like 3 or 4 times. And my, like, sports hernia, it hurt to cough. It was bad. I was like, I cannot do that anymore. So I may have retired from it, but I love a good mechanical bull ride. I want to ask you this, because we were talking about that 2004 draft, which was on this day, 21 years ago.
It'll be next Thursday, be the day,
Ben Roethlisberger, you said Hall of Famer for sure.
Yes.
Eli Manning, you said no, not unless Plunkett goes in, who's the only other multi-Super Bowl winning quarterback not in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Who's eligible? Phillip Rivers. Rank those 3 for me.
Okay.
I'm curious to hear your opinion as a fan, because those guys were contemporaries of mine, and I played against all of them multiple times, especially Eli. I think maybe I only played against Ben once, played against Phillip a couple times, and him in college too.
I would rank them Roethlisberger, Rivers, Eli. I think Eli, he gets a lot of kudos, not just for winning a Super Bowl, but who he beat in the Super Bowl. Him going 2-0 against Brady, knocking them off the undefeated season, even though Eli did not have like these fantastic statistical games either time. You know, Eli's been part of some of the bigger plays in Super Bowl history. The helmet catch, the Odell Beckham catch. Was that the ones that Manning had? Anyway, but he's been part of some of the biggest plays and biggest moments in Super Bowl history. And I like Bobby, I'll do the if-then game when it comes to the Hall of Fames. If Eli is a Hall of Famer, then you better damn well believe that Jim Plunkett's a Hall of Famer. Plunkett had it's the career Plunkett had. I know it didn't start off great. He got bounced around a little bit with the 49ers, the Patriots. The only reason he started for the Raiders, I believe, is because Pastorini got hurt, or Mark Wilson, one of those two guys, and that's what put him in there as a starter on the Super Bowl win over the Eagles that season when they beat the Eagles 27-10 and Dick Vermeil. But he gets in because of an injury. He was done at that point in a lot of people's eyes. But the fact that he got 2 Super Bowl wins, I think Plunkett deserves to be in there. But yeah, I go Eli would be 3rd for me, Rivers 2nd, Big Ben 1st.
What if I told you, so Eli is, I believe he's 8-4 in the playoffs.
Right. He's a 500 quarterback career-wise, wins and losses.
Yes. I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4 divisional round. I don't think Eli Manning, I might be missing one. What if I told you that he did not win a playoff game outside of his 2 Super Bowl runs?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Yeah, right. They didn't. Yeah, he
had 2 great runs.
Yeah.
But outside of that, maybe he has 1 win. I'm trying to look at this right now. I don't believe that he has another. And so
no, you're right. That's correct.
You have to factor that in, because in that, I believe if I were to rank him playing against these guys,
right,
I would go, and this is regular season.
Okay.
And Phillip, obviously, with that Chargers team, did not have the playoff success that they would have liked to have had.
Damn good quarterback.
Really good quarterback. I thought, from playing against them on the defensive side, Rivers, Roethlisberger, Manning.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I think Phillip was the best of all of them. When you played him, like, as far as his ability to carve you up and what he could do,
right,
it was really good. And then Ben's ability to extend the play. And listen, Eli beat us a handful of times. Like, it wasn't like, I'm not saying that he's, chopped liver, but watching him play, like, there was a lot of really good Eli, and then there was a lot of really bad Eli.
I don't think very often you would lose a game to the Giants because of Eli. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like usually defense, running game, whatever, it was circumstances. But I don't think Eli was a guy most teams probably feared or game planned against necessarily. You know? He wasn't the reason.
Yeah, that's my point is like you had Phillip Rivers circled.
Right.
You had Ben Roethlisberger like, we got to keep this guy in the pocket. Phillip Rivers like, we've got to affect him. He can't really move that well. Get him off his spot. Eli was like, hey, the guy will throw you the football if you muddy the water for him. Like,
right.
He'll throw it up.
Yeah.
Now, if he does David Tyree catching it off his helmet, then that's a good thing for him.
Right, yeah. If that catch doesn't happen, we don't even have this conversation about Eli, I don't think, anyway. Coming up next, the Jacket season ended yesterday. What's on the to-do list now for next season? We'll ask CBJ insider Jeff Svoboda next, right here. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching slowdowns on 161 out in New Albany. We've got a crash that crews are responding to in those eastbound lanes just past New Albany Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus special rates on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union. Apply today at bmifcu.org/visa.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Spring is here and it's time for a fresh start, starting with your ride. At Germain Toyota, we've got an offer that'll drive you into the season in style. Get behind the wheel of a 2025 Toyota Tundra SR5 today for just $499 a month. That's right, a powerful, rugged Tundra, just like the one I'm driving, for $449 a month for 36 months. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net. $39.99 down, 36-month lease, plus tax, title, and fees. No security deposit required with approved credit. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Common Man here of Spring Cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading. This is the month to do it. Freshen your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. If you buy 4, you pay for 2. If you need 12, you pay for 6. What are you waiting for? Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Give them a call, 614-502-5220, or visit universalwindowsdirect.com.
Take action with Logan Services. Get up to $900 off a Train furnace and up to $1,500 off a Train air conditioner. Plus free duct cleaning on qualifying systems. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
We plant trees because people need trees. And when planted in the right place, they have great impact. Trees help slow climate change, filter our air and water, foster biodiversity, and strengthen our communities. They create the kind of transformational change the world needs now. April is a month filled with opportunities to care for and plant trees. For planting resources, contact an Ohio ISA certified arborist who can help you learn how to take the best care of your trees. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a great afternoon, so make sure you get out and enjoy it. We'll be in the low 80s, but a little bit windy, so keep that in mind. More sunshine as well. We'll see temperatures tonight, mid-60s, pretty dry through the overnight until we get to early Saturday. That's when showers and storms return. A few could be strong, mid-70s. Lingering rain Easter, but there will be dry time as well. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hey, gang, it's not what you win or lose. It's what you save with Prime Sports Ohio. Betting reduced juice with Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Prime Sports, the only sports book where you can choose a professional account with minus 108 reduced juice betting, or sign yourself up for a regular recreational account with minus 110 juice. That also comes with a loyalty program where you can earn cash back on your bets, Bob.
I like to consider myself a professional.
Yes.
But I'm just an average Joe. Prime Sports Ohio, the same betting limits all members and does not, I repeat, does not put any restrictions on winning players. Sometimes you'll be so sick of the winning that they'll cut you back. That doesn't sound good for anybody. Prime Sports treats all members fairly and equally, so download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. Let's do this. Let's talk some Jackets.
Morning Juice presents Talking Jackets.
Now it's Boone Jenner along the end boards, and he stuffs it behind Peter Mrazek for the score.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
All right, Jeff Svoboda, Jackets Insider, joins us here today. The season has officially ended for the Jackets. They end on a high note with a 6-1 victory over the Islanders. Good morning, Jeff. Have we found a goaltender for next season?
That is a great question, and I think you will see a lot of Jet Greaves next year for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I think that was the plan all along. This kid is signed to be on a one-way contract next year, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he would be with the Blue Jackets, but it means he would have to clear waivers to make it down to Cleveland should he not be. And so that generally implies that he's someone who would be here. And I think that they've thought all along that that he's an NHL goaltender, and it was just a matter of him getting seasoning and getting to a point where he's ready. But, I mean, how could you not like Jet Greaves and the way he's played, the way he carries himself, his calmness in net, the way that he handles all of the attention that's been given to him, just everything. He's the whole package. It's been fun to watch the last couple weeks to see how well he's played, and I think that there's a really good chance that this could be the start of something pretty cool, because I think that, you know, he's always going to be limited by his size, but the way he battles and the way he plays and the way guys love playing for him, I think this kid has a real shot to be someone that is a really good goaltender at the NHL level, and he's shown it. It was been his time, and it's going to be exciting to see where it goes.
All right, Jeff. I mean, I know you were sad that Montreal was able to get it done on Wednesday night, but there was probably a part of you that was happy that you didn't have to come in here drunk and hungover with Beam and I today. Because the Jackets got it done. They did their part. They won their 6 in a row, which I don't think anybody, after them going 4-12 after the Stadium Series, thought was possible.
That is true. And you know, I would, first of all, always love to be there with you guys. But
really hungover, though, at 6? That would have been a tough one.
That is true. Well, you know, last night would have been different then, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way they finished, and it was awesome. And this year, as they were struggling there for a bit, I was thinking like it was unfortunate that was the case because this season has been, so many ups and downs, and everyone knows, all the things that have happened, and to go the way they were going, it was kind of like, man, the season deserves a better ending, and for them to come back and win these last 6 games and really take the fan base on a ride through it all, and then to finish the way it did last night. And, the excitement in the building and, the fact that, when 19,000 got a chance to root on this group for one last time, again, a group that they've talked all year about how close they are and just how much they enjoy playing together. It was a fitting end, and you wish that you had more time, and you wish that, they had a chance to go into the playoffs and do that. But it was so special to be there last night and see this team kind of be able to take one last ride and finish on a high note. So that was pretty cool.
What was describe the environment for the folks that weren't there? I mean, you can kind of see some of it coming through on television, but just explain what it kind of felt like to be in that, knowing the season was over, and then in the second when they just had that explosion over a 5-6 minute period.
Yeah, it felt like the cannon was going to never stop firing, and people were. I think it's a team that has certainly forged a bond with this fan base this year, and so it was. I mean, the excitement was palpable, and then from the very beginning, and from the Jet chants and the Johnny Hockey chants, and the last laps, the salutes, and everything. I mean, you could tell, and it was mutual too. The way that the fans have stepped up and been there for the players, you could tell it meant a lot to them to have that last chance to play together and play in front of the fans. And so, it's unfortunate, obviously, the way it ended, but, the fact that it just ends up kind of weird because, the way that it went on Wednesday with Montreal getting that win, and you just have, at that point you only have 24 more hours, but it was, kind of a memorable 48 hours. It was bittersweet, but it was also a good chance for everyone to get together one last time and have that goodbye. So it was kind of a game you're never going to forget if you were there, from either side, from a fan side or from the player side.
Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. So I'm sure Dean Evison has a to-do list on what he wants for his squad. And there'll be changes, obviously, that will be happening for the Jackets in the offseason here. What do you think is paramount for the Jackets to do before next season?
I think they have to figure out exactly what they want on the defensive side. I think, goalie was always going to be something that you were going to see some movement, but I think the way the Jet finished, maybe adds a little bit of confidence or clarity to what's happening there. But I think defensively, I mean, we saw, down the stretch here, they had 9 defenses that they were playing or that they were carrying on the team. And the guys were going in and out of the lineup at the end of the year. And I think they've got to decide what they want to do there, especially because if you look at the numbers, this was a team that scored the most goals in franchise history. But, they still gave up a heck of a lot of goals as well. And so I think, you obviously Zach Werenski is pretty well plugged in. Denton Matejchuk looks like a piece that is going to be there for a long time. They've got to sign Dante Fabro. He's been fantastic this year, but he's going to be a free agent. So that's got to get figured out. Erica Branson's we go in the last year of his contract, but there's a lot of question marks there. And so they have to figure out exactly what they think, are the pieces that are going to be around for a long time at that position and what maybe they can do to change things up and, be able to keep the puck out of the net a little bit better this year than they did, or next year than they did this year. Because the number of goals given up was simply, it was too much. And that's one major reason why they're not, still playing hockey right now.
What, is there any other expectation for next year now other than playoffs, given that you missed it on the 82nd game?
Yeah, I always caution that, it feels like these things should be linear. Like, it feels like when you should get better year by year, especially with such a young team. But, so often, especially the NHL, we don't see it that way. I remember a couple of years ago, the Sabres were, I think, 1 point out of missing the playoffs, and you thought, like, oh, man, this team is on the rise, and they still haven't made it back. But, they played a lot of meaningful games down the stretch, and, the way they finished, this year with those 6 wins and, what they learned about, the margin for error throughout the season and how every point counts and how you have to play those games down the stretch. And, they've really learned how to win and learned a lot as a team these last couple of years. So, yeah, I think playoffs is a very fair belief and a very fair expectation because, you saw so many of these young players step forward this year. And, they're going to have an offseason where they have the ability to attack what they feel are their weaknesses. And, I think that's a very fair expectation that you come into next year and expect to be a playoff team and expect to be playing these games in April and March next year in Columbus. I think that's, they've earned that. And, there's going to be some pressure involved with that too. But, you know what? That's what happens when you're in this situation. And so I think that, you absolutely should have those expectations a year from now.
Jeff, take the rest of the day off, then your off-season ends. Get ready for next year, okay?
All right, sounds good. You tell my boss that. No.
All right, Jeff.
Good, guys. Thank you.
All right, that was Jeff Svoboda, Jackets Insider, joining us there on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Coming up in 2 minutes. Spring football is over for the Buckeyes, and the transfer portal is open. What's next for Day's squad? We'll ask Austin Ward next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Friday. Right now, we are still watching slowdowns on 161 out in New Albany. We've got a crash going eastbound just past New Albany Road that crews are responding to. Expect some lane closures over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
And the top overall pick in this year's draft is the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. That's right, it's number one in my heart. This is Scotty Vegas, and we're hosting a special draft show and watch party starting at 7 p.m. Thursday, April 24th for the first round of the draft. Watch and place wagers on the picks with over 30 kiosks, contests, prizes, and a live show at 7 at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
It is Morning Juice. It is that time. Let's talk to one of our good friends.
A guy who considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League. Here's Austin Ward.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. Restore, repair, replace. Visit theroofingguys.com.
The incredibly shrinking Austin Ward joins us now. Buckeye Talk with Austin. Austin, how many pounds are you down?
Of fame.
50.
Good for you, man. Make me sick. So, transfer portal open now. And what do you think Ohio State, what position should they be attacking or looking for in the transfer portal?
Yeah, Tito, it's a good question, and I think that it's not really any different than the way I would have answered it at the start of camp, which is you just look at the total number of bodies on the defensive line, and it's not where Ohio State needs it to be. I think when you look at the top group, the production that can be there with both the ends and then a tackle combination of Cade McDonald and Edric Houston, like, you're pretty much fine with that. But I don't think it was by coincidence. Ryan Day doesn't normally talk about players who leave the program by name, but I think they were a little bit stunned by Hero Canu's departure for Texas. They were really counting on him to stabilize some of the depth there. You know, a three-man group that you rotate with those guys inside and get what you needed done. And it's not to say that there wasn't progress for some those next guys in line, Jason Moore, Tywan Malone, Will Smith Jr., I think all those guys had moments where you'd be like, yeah, okay, that's looking pretty good. The depth is materializing, and they could get there in the mix and really help Ohio State. But it's still more about total body count there, and I think defensive tackle will be the first order of business. I thought maybe there was a chance, and there still could be if something fits at defensive end. But Logan George, I thought really improved. He was already someone that Ohio State picked up at defensive end in the winter portal, and I thought by the end of camp and in that spring game on Saturday, I thought he was really, really coming along as well, and could be a big factor for Ohio State the way that they envisioned when they were looking at that film. But I think defensive tackle is clearly number one. I think if there's a Chris Chuganoff or Tristan Gebbia or Gunnar Hoke type veteran quarterback that they can add to get to 4 scholarship guys and a little bit of safety net for an inexperienced group there, I think Ohio State would look at that as well. And I think another spot where you certainly don't need a starter, you may not even need a top backup, but you might need a special teams contributor and one more safety just to fill things out. Those would be the 3 spots that I kind of looked at, Tito. But this is a team that has pretty much everything that it needs, and unless it gets surprised over the weekend or in the coming days, I don't know that there's a ton that it has to add.
So you mentioned that defensive line, especially the interior of it. I mean, what do we envision this spring portal looking like, Austin? I mean, everybody's like, oh, go grab a guy out of the portal. I'm like, we got Easter brunch coming up this weekend. I mean, you're going to go to CVS to get your Easter brunch stuff? I mean, you can get some food there, but it may not necessarily be to the quality and quantity that you're looking for. Yeah, and I think that, again, anything can change in this day and age in college football. We all know that, Bob. But I think some of the post-spring portal madness has been overblown. I think you and I had this conversation last year when you look at the positions and the amount of people that just entered their name was not reaching the level of hysteria the way that it was forecasted. And I think part of that is the way the looming house settlement, the way that programs being able to negotiate more directly with players has changed the nature of a lot of these contracts. Now, nobody saw the Nico situation in Tennessee necessarily coming, so it's not as if there are no starting caliber players that are going to enter the portal. There are going to be some. But you think Ohio State missed out on him? On Nico, I don't. Okay, just making sure. I can't imagine. Look, I mean, if they wanted to be involved, Bob, they definitely could have been. My understanding is that they had enough scouting information from their matchup in December, and I think enough comfort in their quarterback room coming out of spring that they did not feel the need to match those demands or meet with that individual's representative and have him around the program moving forward. That would be my understanding of that situation. So I think Ohio State was comfortable there. But again, that's a little bit of a reminder of the situation here. Even if there are productive players, Power 5 players, Power 5 starters that are in the portal at this period, oftentimes there's a reason that they are. And there is, when you're shopping, that might be like a little bit of a bruise on the apple, and you're trying to decide if that's what's going to fit in the rest of your cart. So what's going to be there at defensive tackle, I really don't know. I think that Ohio State might have to be more willing to lower its standards slightly if it feels that pressing of a need there. But it also doesn't want to do that. And I'm not saying that it should do that just because it has to get a body. That's the give and take in culture and brotherhood and all that stuff that we talk about all the time remains paramount. So you don't want to disrupt that just because you might feel like the scholarship numbers aren't perfect either. So I understand all that. And it's to say that there still has to be a smart fit for everybody, and there is no guarantee that will happen.
Austin Ward joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. I looked on ESPN the other day, and they were talking about great fits for some of the top people in the transfer portal, and they thought Bo Atkinson, defensive end from North Carolina, I believe he's got a visit scheduled for Ohio State, but he's got a couple of years of eligibility left, I believe. He is 6'6", 265. I got to believe he is probably like top of the list for Ohio State.
Yeah, and if you get those visits scheduled, that's usually a pretty important marker when you're factoring in like not just Ohio State's interest, but their ability to get it over the finish line. They'll call up Bobby Carpenter in there and have him put the hard sales pitch on and let him close those deals. So and I think what an asset that is to have for anybody. I don't know. Or will you be back from Las Vegas in time for that, Bob? I don't know if those plans have changed, but anyway, yeah. When you get those done, you add those in. You get guys on campus. You have the resources. You have the facilities. You have the championship contention. You have the opportunity for playing time. When Ohio State is in those situations, they tend to emerge victorious more often than they don't. So we'll see what happens there. But you're going to have defensive linemen, not just Atkinson, that are interested in this situation and are aware of what they might be walking into.
All right. Your evaluation, Austin. We haven't talked to you since the spring finished up. Looking at that thing in totality, understanding the spring game is a big part, but it's 1/15 as far as on-field activities with what you've seen, the conversations that you've had, the interviews, the coaches, the players. Like, do you feel like Ryan Day got accomplished what he wanted to get accomplished, got where he needed to go? And then with that, I mean, was there anything that you thought should have happened that didn't?
It was a really interesting spring, Bob, because it started with the conversation about spring showcase and managing reps for veterans, and like it was going to be, these guys played a lot of football and they played till January 20th, and then they got into it, and it was like after about a week, it felt like a different light bulb went off for Ryan Day, and he's like, we've got to play more football. And that conversation always starts with the quarterbacks, and I think that was the big impetus, but it wasn't that alone. You have so many veterans and so thousands of reps and a national championship winning experience that has to be replaced. So did they get that done in spring? I would say yes. Did Ryan Day want to have another week or 2 weeks of spring practice by the time it got over? Yes. Did he anticipate that being the case? No, I don't think that he did when they got into it. It was also why we got more of a real spring game than we had originally been pitched 6 weeks ago. I thought that the stuff that we got to see, the intensity that Ohio State practiced with, some of the stuff that was, bordering on chippy and nasty, I think that was all really good. I think Ohio State liked seeing that competitiveness and that feistiness, and I thought that they, everything that I was hearing was that there was progress being made. Would they have wanted to see maybe a little bit more of that at quarterback? I would also say that is probably true. But the closest you can get is having a couple of live scrimmage periods for all those guys and letting them get hit to try and speed up that learning curve. And they took that step as well, which is a reminder, I think, and maybe the most clear reminder that there is of what Ryan Day was trying to get done with an eye on Texas, because there were days where it was up and down for Julian Sayin, up and down for Lincoln Kienholz, certainly freshman enrollments for Tavian St. Clair. But as I mentioned before, they haven't lost confidence in any of those three guys. They were all picked and brought into the program for a very good reason. And they are just trying to do everything they can to make sure that they're ready to play Texas in late August. And I thought, Lincoln Kienholz, so we're just looking at we had 5 open practices, 3 in that last closing stretch, an appreciation day, Friday at the coaches clinic, and then the spring showcase. Like if I'm just looking at that as objectively as possible, Lincoln Kienholz had 2 better days out of the 3 compared to Julian Sayin. And then Julian Sayin had, I thought, by far his best practice. Maybe I didn't see the other 10, so as you said, it's 115. Out of the 5 I saw, that was the best version of Julian Sayin that we witnessed, and the one that I think is the kind that we talked about going into March, like why he would be the presumptive favorite to win the job. So, and I bring that up not to say that the race is over, that the competition is not close, because I think it is, but when I've been trying to be more even-handed with the evaluations, comparing Julian Sayin to Julian Sayin, he clearly got better by the end of camp. And that's what Ryan Day was hoping to accomplish, not just with the quarterbacks, but with everyone on the roster.
So in addition to announcing to us that Lincoln Kienholz is a starting quarterback, in your opinion, Austin, the other important question to ask you on this day in April is, who's the backup kicker?
I don't know, Tito. I was had my hands full on that one. So I think I will say Jaden Fielding had a very good spring.
Yes, he was
good. I was impressed with the way we talked to him a week and a half ago on Tuesday, and he was talking about the injuries that he worked with. We had mentioned some of that during the season, but he wasn't using those as excuses at the time, and he was I was really impressed with his maturity, talking about, the misses against Michigan. Did he feel vindication by, stealing the national championship, and how I asked him how long he celebrated that, and he's like, well, just a couple days, because really I didn't feel like I did enough to earn it over the course of the season, thinking primarily about November 30th, that he's got stuff that he's got to address. I thought that was pretty cool to hear from a kicker. So we don't normally hear it that way, but good for him, and I think Ohio State's glad to have him back.
You're the man, Austin. Thanks so much, bud. We'll talk again soon.
All right, see you guys.
All right, coming up next, we'll let you know what's got us juiced. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Friday. Right now, we are still watching slowdowns on 161 out in New Albany. We've got a crash going eastbound just past New Albany Road that crews are responding to. Expect some lane closures over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy Hatcher, a former professional baseball player, and I'm a patient at Tri-State Men's Health. Before I started the treatment, it was like my body was sore all the time, and I was feeling very, very sluggish. One day, I would be full of energy, and the next day was like, where did all my energy go? And since I've started, my body hasn't felt this good in a long time. I feel like, I'm not 21 to 25 again. It's just been great. I feel very, very comfortable coming here. When you have the energy, it's amazing. You get to do so many other things that you couldn't do prior to that. If you're tired of hurting in the mornings, you want to improve your health, you want to feel better, give a call to Tri-State Men's Health. I promise you, you will feel better.
Thanks, Billy. It's true. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay, moving up payday so you could get your money faster, up to 2 days faster. And there's no cost. It's your money, right? So stop playing the waiting game. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more locally grown goodness to life with a farm-fresh selection of crisp vegetables and juicy, ready-to-eat fruit. Whether topping off kebabs on the grill or adding healthy color to a leafy green salad, your family will definitely enjoy the delicious taste of Meijer produce. Plus, you'll appreciate the selection and savings we have to offer. That's the fresh-picked good life, priced for real life. We work hard to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Before you start your day, UDF has already started baking your breakfast. We're making biscuits and croissants in our bakery served with sausage, egg, and cheese before you hit your first alarm. Fresh baked breakfast sandwiches from United Dairy Farmers. UDF. Mornings made for you.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom Tire buyer.
Exactly.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. Sundays at 11, it's The Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're welcome.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
It's called Morning Juice. And we also want to tell you some things that are juicing us.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
You know, Bobby, it's taken me a long time. I finally got it down, though. This will really benefit me, I think, when I fill in for Beamer next time. I know who goes first on Fridays. It will be you, Bobby. What's got you juiced?
Oh, goodness. A lot of things got me juiced. Flying out later today to Vegas. I was going to ask Austin about WrestleMania, but you asked him about a kicking situation of a backup kicker, for heaven's sake. Flying out to Vegas for WrestleMania with my little dude, Caleb. I'm excited to get to this point. Big thanks to my guy, Pat McAfee, and my guy, Steve Grogan. They're taking care of us with some tickets out there. So really excited to be able to go out and see that. Not really excited to go, excited to make him happy. I'd rather spend Easter with my family, spend my dad's 70th birthday with him. So a big happy birthday to my father on Sunday, April 20th. So he'll be celebrating his 70th, like I just mentioned.
Nothing says Easter like showgirls, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm waking up in the morning in Vegas. It feels like it might be a ticket to hell, but either way, I'm going to do the very best I can. Good day yesterday, wrapping up class at Ohio State, Monday's finals, finishing up. Like it's exciting next week. Like that'll be big. That's got me juiced as well. And that weather yesterday, man. We had a fire last night out at the house. The first time that we got the cushions out, the patio cushions for the furniture, got all that put back out in a good spot. And kids like, "Can we start a fire, Dad?" I'm like, you know what? Let's start a fire, Billy Joel. Let's get that thing going and have a little fun last night. So we were able to do that and get that going. Kids are all off in school today. And I mean, I'm getting texts from my son, these authorizations for opening of apps and stuff at 6:45. I'm like, my goodness, sleep in, enjoy the day that they got off. But
it sounds like it was a great night at the Carpenter household. Shark, check your phone. Did you get an invite? I didn't get a message from Bobby asking me. You didn't get an invite either on that one? It sounded like it was a great night over there. Huh, okay, just curious.
It's some fun. It's a folks over.
Curious. Sorry.
Relax and enjoy it a little bit. Have a good time. And my wife did a great job. We had some tacos, Sharky, and they're very good. She does a great job. Excellent cook out of her. Also, let's play a little Joe Rogan and John Cleese, Shark.
John Cleese made a great video about this, why extremism is so interesting. From 30 years ago.
This is hilarious.
Pre-social media. There's no social media at this time. And he essentially nails what's going on with both the right-wing extremists and the left-wing extremists.
Seriously, though, we've heard a lot about extremism recently. A nastier, harsher atmosphere everywhere, more abuse and bother boy behavior, less friendliness and tolerance and respect for opponents. All right, but what we never hear about extremism is its advantages. Well, the biggest advantage of extremism is that it makes you feel good because it provides you with enemies. Let me explain. The great thing about having enemies is that you can pretend that all the badness in the whole world is in your enemies and all the goodness in the whole world is in you. So, if you have a lot of anger and resentment in you anyway, and you therefore enjoy abusing people, then you can pretend that you're only doing it because these enemies of yours are such very bad persons. And that if it wasn't for them, you'd actually be good-natured and courteous and rational all the time. If you want to feel good, become an extremist. If you join the hard left, they'll give you their list of authorized enemies. Or, if you'd rather be an extremist on the hard right, no problem, fine, you still get a lovely list of enemies, only they're different ones. Once you're armed with one of these super lists of enemies, you can be as nasty as you like and yet feel your behaviors morally justified.
I heard that this morning, and it was probably the clearest explanation I've ever heard with where we've gotten to in society today and why we are where we are. I don't know how you thought about that when you heard it, Shark. I was like, that is pretty amazing. And that was 30 years ago, before cell phones and social media. And here we are today. What's got you juiced, Shark?
Schlegs.
God didn't make me to run 110 yards like Bobby did. Bobby and Braves can run all freaking day. God made me to run 20 yards and stop. That's why I deadlift heavy. That's why I squatted heavy. I can go 0 to 20. Then after that, I don't need to go any further, man. I should have played in the 50s.
You know, April 20th is a rough day in history. We had Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th. Columbine happened on April 20th. But one very good thing happened, the birth of my first son, Mark Charles Howell II. So I wish him a happy birthday on Sunday.
My sister's birthday is Sunday.
Is that right?
Yes. Adolf Thidoff. No, Lisa Thidoff. Lisa.
Jesus was resurrected on Easter Sunday.
There we go.
There you go.
Didn't hear that in this date in history.
They had, yeah, we didn't hear.
Well, no, we had Sunday. You're right.
Juice that the Blue Jackets won 6 in a row to end the season. A year ago, Columbus won just 27 games, fewest in the Eastern Conference. They had 66 points last season. This season,
89.
40 wins and 89 points. Pretty good. A 23-point increase from last season.
They do that again, they'll be having the number one seed.
We'll be lifting cups next year at this time. I'm so sorry I won't be in here with you guys, but
yeah, you might be. You don't know.
Let's hear this final highlight from the season.
Kirill Marchenko clears his own end. Gets the puck on the left side. Deshaun Monahan up the ice, goes right side, shot, and a score! Attack is on. Zach Werenski finishes, and it's 5-0.
What a season for Zach Werenski. Finished second in the NHL among all defensemen with 82 points. That's also tied for the second most points by a Blue Jacket player in a season. Zach broke single-season franchise records for goals, assists, and points by a defenseman, and he tied Artemi Panarin's single-season record for assists. Adam Fantilli came on strong, 9 goals in April. That was the most in the NHL this season. Nice. Oh, and Jet Greaves, last night he lost his shutout with 5:12 left in the game. He was going for a third straight shutout, but was scored upon for the first time in 173 minutes and 38 seconds. That's the 4th longest scoreless streak in franchise history for a goalie. And one more thing, the Jackets scored 267 goals this season. That's the most in franchise history.
Wow.
And we still couldn't make the playoffs, Tito.
Way to look at the dark side of it, Shark.
Yeah,
it was a great season.
It was a fantastic season.
Has Elvis officially left the building? I think he has. They're going to buy him out, aren't they? I think they are. I think they'll buy him out of his contract. I feel like Jet's the answer. Jet's the guy next year. He's got to be the guy going forward. What's got me juiced? Look, I'm looking forward to the weekend. We got warm weather coming in now again, and it looks like it's going to stay now. I looked, and for the next 10 days, I think, starting on might be starting tomorrow, but we're going to have highs in the 70s consistently. I cannot wait for that. Get out there and play a little golf and do that. But yes, it's going to be a great weekend. And Bobby, I'm juiced for you and Caleb going out there. That'll be a cool father-son thing to do out there at WrestleMania.
It'll be something. He's got a little suit, going to walk around in it. I mean, looking like a baby Ric Flair. Oh, he loves John Cena.
Yes, that's what you need to have. You'll have the glasses. I think it's too bad his hair's not longer.
I don't know. Like, you look at some of the Ric Flair. I mean, his hair's about that length. Yeah. We might have to bleach it a little more blonde.
I was going to say you could bleach it while you're out there, but yes, enjoy that while you guys are out there. Coming up next, we've got the re-rack. He'll don the headgear one more time, then he rides off in the sunset. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no major crashes that we're watching. We are still watching crews clear out a small issue on 161 eastbound near New Albany Road, but everything else moving along just fine. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hardworking, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com to get started. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
In-betweens are made for pizza. In between meals, meetings, thoughts, that's pizza time. Stop at Speedway and get 2 hot, delicious slices of pizza and a Mountain Dew 20-ounce for $5 with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for full terms.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit hindermotorcompany.com.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, Kroger brand bone-in hickory smoked spiral ham is only 79 cents a pound with your card, an additional $25 purchase. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Evan Cohen here. We all know breakfast is an important part of your day, but sometimes when you're traveling for business, you end up staying at a hotel that doesn't offer any. And you know what happens? You grab a cup of coffee and skip the meal entirely. We've all been there. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. And really, who doesn't want to start their day with a fresh, hot waffle? Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark Bishark. The Blue Jackets and Islanders were scoreless in the first period at Nationwide Arena, and then Columbus scored 5 goals in a span of 15 minutes, 6 seconds in the second period, and went on to crush New York 6-1. It was the 16th time the Jackets scored at least 6 goals in a game this season. That's a franchise record. Columbus ends the season with 6 straight wins, outscoring its opponents 28-6 during the streak. In baseball, Daniel Schneemann and Austin Hedges hit back-to-back homers in the third to give Cleveland a 2-1 lead at Baltimore. But a half inning later, Ryan O'Hearn hit a 3-run homer, and the Orioles went on to beat the Guardians 6-2. Randy Arozarena hit a game-tying homer in the 9th inning and then added a 2-run double in the 10th as the Mariners beat the Reds 11-7 in 10 innings. The Sports Center is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with a Rewards credit card.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Earlier, we racked. Now, we'll do this.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Shark, you know, I know there's always kind of a wall between us. It's because you don't open up to people and you don't have a heart. But I kind of wish that wall was gone. I wish we could be closer together when we're working.
All right, I'll see if I can make that happen.
I appreciate that. Let's get rid of the glass. Let's just do that. Let's break down. Mr. Gorbachev, take down that wall. All right, so the Reds fell in extras of the Mariners, lost 11-7 in 10 innings. Reds hit a grand slam home run. I shouldn't say grand. It's a grand slam as a home run. That's redundant. A grand slam in the bottom of the 8th to take a 7-5 lead. Mariners put up 2 on the board in the top of the 9th. They go to 10 innings. Mariners win 11-7. Reds in Baltimore at 7:05 tonight. Yeah, boo indeed. Guardians fell 6-2 to the Orioles. They're in Pittsburgh tonight at 6:40. The Jackets get that 6-1 win over the Islanders over at NWA. Their season is over. Miami and Atlanta play tonight at 7 o'clock in an elimination game in the NBA.
You can't call it NWA. Throw off. I've banned that on
Why can't we say it NWA?
Because it's ridiculous. I've told you it's ridiculous.
I like calling it the NWA.
That's fine. Hayden used to call it that. You can like it.
No, wait. Now, don't do this. Let's not do this.
You're not going to use that abbreviation.
When I work with you, whenever we work together, I can't use that abbreviation.
Nationwide is one word.
I know it's one word, but I don't know. NWA just sounds cool and hip.
Okay. Well, you saying it sounds cool and hip
doesn't make it
all of the coolness and hipness out of there.
How about the wide?
The schwide?
I didn't say the schwide. The wide. Can we call it the wide? What would you just call it Nationwide? That's all you say.
Just call it Nationwide.
It's kind of a nickname, though. All right, we'll work on that.
I don't think it has to have a nickname.
We can workshop that one. Dallas and Memphis play tonight at 9:30 in another NBA elimination game. Lee Corso stepping down after 38 years. His final game will be August 30th. I think it will be in Columbus when he will do his final donning of the headgear. Did you see what happened with Rich Rod in Morgantown, Bobby?
I am not positive. I've seen a lot of things.
36 players entered the transfer portal Wednesday from West Virginia.
Okay, that's a lot.
Now, of the 36...
Just got there.
Of the 36...
So that doesn't surprise me.
12 of them are walk-ons. So, with the new rules and everything come into play, that makes sense. The other 24, though, are ones that were scholarship players. And we shouldn't be surprised because these are guys that Rich Rod did not recruit.
Rich Rodriguez is a tough guy to play for. He's very demanding. He is a little bit harsh with his players. And so when you told me that surprises me not at all because of how he operates. And it's a new coach. It's his first time there. So there were guys that probably don't enjoy the way he coaches. He's probably saying, hey, I don't think you're good enough to be here. This is going to be really hard. So you're either going to get better or you're going to get out. And so some of those guys obviously chosen to leave.
I think what surprised me about it, Bobby, was not that the numbers sound staggering when you think of 36 players leaving a program. It sounds staggering when you first hear that number. But Dion had a similar thing when he got to Colorado, and a huge deal was made about it. Maybe because Dion, whatever. But
that was kind of at the beginning, and he came in there saying I'm bringing my luggage, all this, and, it's Louis and all this stuff. Like, he made it sound like I'm trying to get rid of guys. Rich Rodriguez didn't come in with that same proclamation. Just watching him coach and being at practices, seeing him do that, I was thinking that, there were going to be guys who were not going to appreciate his coaching style.
And he has a specific type of offense he probably wants to run.
Yeah.
And the personnel might not be there for what he wants.
Of course. So you're going to do some things, make some changes like that. Anytime you see coach leave, okay, think about this. Nick Saban left Alabama. Kalen DeBoer came in. Kalen DeBoer was coaching in the college football playoff. And he came in, and I don't know how many guys left Alabama, but it was a lot, and some of them were really good, and 3 of them ended up at Ohio State. So you went from a Hall of Fame coach to another coach who is potentially going to be in the Hall of Fame, who is very good, who I think you could argue that Kalen DeBoer is probably a gentler human being than Nick Saban on the football field. And you saw guys that left. Yeah. They left just because Nick left. And so you have that.
So I don't know if you and Beamer talked about this or not, but some of the rule changes in college football. Did you hear about this one?
We have not talked about it. I saw those come down yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
The day before, maybe?
The big thing stood out to me was, well, they are going to crack down on people faking injuries.
Yeah, listen, you have to call a timeout.
Right.
If you don't have any, it's a 5-yard penalty.
They also officially took away the play that Oregon used against Ohio State near the end of the game. If the defense goes through a play in the final 2 minutes of 12 players, it's a 5-yard penalty. The offense will then be allowed to, if they want to, reset the game clock.
Yeah.
Which would have made all the difference in the world last year in that Ohio State-Oregon game. Let me add, I don't
say make it a 15-yard penalty. If you were intentionally playing with 12 guys, I mean, that's egregious. It should be a 15-yard penalty and give them the time back.
So I was thinking about this, Bobby, and we could never probably get I don't say straight answer, but I don't know if any coach would ever admit to this. But I'm curious on your perspective here.
Yeah.
If Ohio State beats Oregon in that game.
You asked me the hypothetical of everything that happens. I don't know that off.
Do you think, though, it's more or less likely with the national championship? Like, I seem to think that right there in the loss to Michigan, as much as it sucked, may have bonded this team.
Your hardships shape you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're formed in the valley. Like, nothing grows on a mountaintop.
Exactly. Yep.
Everything grows in valleys. So people may hate it. I hate it. Anyone that wants to aspire to be to reach great peaks or great heights in life, in any endeavor, growth happens in the valley. And it's uncomfortable down there. It doesn't feel good. Everyone likes to sit on the mountaintop, but you have to grow and get what you need before you can traverse the journey of getting to the top. And so, yes, Oregon was part of that. Michigan was part of that. And so could I tell you that they would have won a national championship still if they would have beaten Oregon? Maybe. Maybe the Michigan loss would have been enough. I don't know. If they beat Michigan, would they have went on that run? Maybe. I don't know.
But, no coach will ever say, it was a good loss. They'll never say that.
They won't say, nobody wants to lose a game and say, that was good, but they will say the fruits that were born from that helped us to achieve great heights. Maybe you could do that anyway, but it's a lot harder when you don't necessarily have that emotional response and something that devastating, because it's going to force you to look in the mirror and evaluate yourself. And usually, if you're someone that really wants to improve, it's going to force you to evaluate yourself, figure out what's good, what's bad, what we need to do, what I need to do, what collectively as a team we need to do, have hard and honest conversations. And a lot of times those don't happen when you win. And you gloss over some mistakes. You don't necessarily take as hard a look at stuff because you justify it with a win.
Right.
Winning is the best perfume. It is a cologne. It'll cover up a lot of stench.
I think that having gone through it, the 2 losses, especially the Michigan loss, will end up being very beneficial to Will Howard.
Probably.
It galvanized the team, but it also, I think it showed, like you said, the lowest of low was that Michigan game probably for Ohio State, the team that's got to win. But the fact they would rise up the way they did, just says it gave Will Howard and that team and Ryan Day, a lot of those players, a chance to show their character that they might not have been able to show.
That was a chance. I think it was a firing squad.
Okay, yes, but it was an opportunity.
It wasn't like they got called on The Price is Right. Come on down.
You're right.
It was more like, step this way, sir. You're up next.
How long did Bob Barker, how old was he, Shark? We talked about old guys on TV. How old was Barker when he stopped doing Price is Right, you think? 80s? I think it was in his 80s? When he stopped doing it.
Probably. I don't know if anyone has been 90, though.
Yeah.
I think Bob Barker was in his 80s. Has he passed away now?
Yes, you did kill him.
Recently, right?
Right before his 100th, I think. I think that was because I actually.
That was Betty White.
No, I think it was also Bob Barker.
Betty White, you're correct in the Betty White.
I think Bob Barker died about a month before turning 100, so he wouldn't go over.
He wouldn't go over.
I think it's true. I think it's about a month before.
You're amazing. Let's take a look at this. Oh my gosh, this picture of him is jarring because he has dark hair.
Oh yeah, those were the days, man.
Yeah, Bob Barker. Yeah, he died in August. He was born in December, and it was 99th year of life.
Yeah, right. Didn't go over.
You know, he grew up on an Indian reservation. Bob Barker was Native American.
Was he really?
Yeah. How do you think he got so stinking tan all the time?
Tanning beds.
I started reading through that in his deal, and I was like, wow. Yeah, he grew up in Rosebud Indian Reservation, Sioux Indians, Sioux tribe.
The only time I met Jimmy Crum was coming out of a tanning salon.
So were you going in there too?
Yeah, what were you doing in there?
I was with my dad, and he was going in.
Oh.
But I met Jimmy Crum.
So
like
hold on.
9, 10 years old, I think it was. Yeah.
Your dad was taking...
Bobby,
we're going to take a break. There's a lot here to unpack.
Hey, I'll tell you the perm story, too, if you want. But that's another one that tells you a lot about me.
I also need to tell the Joe Horn, because this is good. It's Willie Roaf's birthday, so...
All right.
It's not really a good story for Willie Roaf, but it's a fun one.
Coming up next, how much will it cost to put a championship caliber team on the hardwood? That's next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. Right now, everything moving along just fine on your roadways. We're not tracking any major crashes right now. Make it a great day and a great weekend. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. It's boat season at Buckeye Lake Marina. Largest new and used boat inventory in the 3-county region. Details and more at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Chevrolet, Central Ohio's #1 Chevy dealer. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $139 a month, or a new 2025 Silverado, just $288 a month at all 5 Coughlin Chevy locations and CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Trax is a 36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing. Silverado is a 24-month lease with $49.99 due. Both plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus location this month and buy 3 select tires. You'll get the 4th tire free, plus a free alignment. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
Hey, spring is here, and nobody wants to suffer through another spring, summer, fall, not being able to do the things you love. Get outside, walk around with friends, go to your kids' games, go to your grandkids' games. Maybe you want to go bike. Maybe you want to play some pickleball, some tennis, some golf, whatever it is. Those are the activities you'll love to do, and maybe you're in intense pain. Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. That was me. That was my dad. And so you want to know what we did? We went and saw the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, Ohio. They're on the case, and they're going to get you the relief just like they did for us. For me, it was my knee. I had some issues from playing. They helped it out. For my dad, it was his other knee. They helped him out. But whether it's a hip, a shoulder, or back, you won't miss a beat. There's no surgery, and there's no long recovery. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They'll give you your life back without harmful meds. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus and find out the easiest path for you. They've got 2 new locations in Canal, Winchester, and Grove City, so give them a call at 380-208-4544.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a wonderful afternoon. A little windy, but sunshine will carry us up into the 80s. We'll be in the mid-60s tonight. Dry weather for most, but as we head into early Saturday, showers and storms do return. Those stick around throughout the day, mid-70s. Easter Sunday, we'll see a few lingering showers, but temperatures near 70. There will be dry time, so don't worry about those egg hunts just yet. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. A radio show hosted by 2 former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Sharky, Bobby can't relate to this. You can. What was more jarring or more important for you? When Kiss first showed up without their makeup, or when Bob Barker stopped coloring his hair?
Bob Barker. Yeah.
I think it was.
He stopped dyeing his hair in 87, which they said at that time no one stopped dyeing their hair. Like, all TV hosts had dark hair. Like, I never remembered him like that. I just remember him looking like Shark with that iconic white mane, and it really accented his tan really well. Bob Barker served in the military, in the Navy during World War II. He was a fighter pilot. Like, he's a fine American. He was married to his wife for like nearly 40 years, but yet was alive longer after she passed. She died in 81.
He lived longer than the length of his marriage.
Yes. I mean, afterwards. And he was married for nearly 40 years. It is crazy.
It's incredible when you put the 40 years on it. But, like, I will live longer than I've been divorced also. That's also longer than my marriage.
If you add them.
Yes, you're right. There. We're giving away a free table of 10 worth $1,500 to Ohio's biggest sports trivia night. It's the Sports Trivia Cup, April 26th at Damascus in Centerburg, with stars like Philip Rivers will be there. Yep. Ted Ginn Jr. will be there. All proceeds from this event support Damascus's nonprofit, helping young people all across the state of Ohio. Be caller number 7 right now, 614-821-9710, and talk to Bob Sharker over there. Now, caller number 7, 614-821-9710 to win that.
I might be at that as well. I got to see if I make sure that I'm going to be in town and be able to get up there, and what the kids' schedule is.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. Listen,
you take the kids, though.
They have games and stuff.
Yeah, you can skip a game for that.
I miss enough. I have 4 kids, so I miss enough of their stuff going to other stuff of theirs. So if I have an opportunity to see something, I'd like to try to get there and try to make sure that I can do it. And so I love giving back and being a part of things. But at some point, I need to make sure that I'm developing my kids as well. Also, do you know how long that Drew Carey has been hosting The Price is Right?
I'm going to say 20 years.
That's That's amazing because it's 18. It feels
18.
like he's been doing it for 10.
Yeah, I know. It's gotten thinner.
Yeah.
You know,
he was awakened.
Yes, he was awakened, yes.
You know, and
the Austin Ward of game show hosts.
Bob Barker finished up. His final taped episode debuted June 6, 2007, which is wild.
Yeah.
He appeared 3 more times on The Price is Right.
Anniversary shows or something, yeah.
Came in April 16th to promote his autobiography, Priceless Memories. Made another guest appearance on his 90th birthday.
Okay.
Probably thought he wasn't long for the world at that point, but nope, still lots of time. And then he announced it was the first time he'd ever announced a contestant. That was in 2013. And then Barker's last appearance was April 1st, 2015. He was 92. April Fool's Day, where he took Carrie's place in the show's intro, hosted the first bid. I think I remember seeing that before handing back to Carrie. Bob Barker later appeared in the Showcase Showdown. All right, I've been previewing this.
Yes.
Joe Horn.
Super tease.
It's Willie Roaf's birthday. He's 55. In 2007, 2008, Zach Thomas came to play with the Dallas Cowboys, which was pretty awesome for me because, while I was competing with him and he probably took some time up from me, it was a chance to play ultimately with a guy who I grew up, idolizing, got a chance to go to his Hall of Fame induction. It has become a great friend. And just, when he comes in town for the Hall of Fame, we go to dinner the night before and everything. And it's a lot of fun. And I made a comment to him one time about his wife and his lovely wife, Maritza, very attractive lady. She kind of has similar features to my wife. She's actually Colombian, but she has dark hair, tan, like very similar height and everything else. So I made a joke about his wife, Maritza, and, her being an attractive gal. And he turns over and looks at me, and this is like, I think during stretching or maybe it's after meetings, like, man, you trying to Joe Horn my wife? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like,
Joe Horn your wife.
I was like, what are you talking about, man? And so the year before, in 2007, Joe Horn, which a lot of people know him as the Pro Bowl receiver for the Saints, he finished up in 2007. His last year was with the Falcons. So Joe Horn played on the Saints with Willie Roaf. And I guess there was some intermingling with Joe and Willie's wife.
Okay.
Willie Roaf is a large human being.
He's not small.
He's a Hall of Fame tackle, monstrous dude.
His name just makes him sound big, too. If you look Willie Roaf.
Roaf. John Madden talking about Willie Roaf when he was with the Chiefs, blocking for Larry Johnson, Priest Holmes. I mean, just dominating dudes. Dominating him. And by all accounts, Willie Roaf is a great human, from what I've heard. So I guess Willie Roaf found out about this during a preseason game in 2007.
Okay.
And Joe Horn, standing at a robust 6'1", 213, was not really a match for Willie Roaf when he found out about this. So I want you to imagine preseason game, and I'm not sure which one it was. I could probably dig in to see when the trade actually happened. But after finding out about this in the locker room,
right,
or maybe beforehand, entering its day of game,
right,
Willie Roaf had to be restrained in the locker room. And you're getting ready to go out. I understand it's preseason, but there are guys trying to make the team and everything else. And it was not easy to do. Needless to say, Joe Horn left the facility that day and then became an Atlanta Falcon not too long after.
Oh, God. Joe Horn, your wife.
So, happy birthday, 55th birthday to Willie Roaf. But little peek behind the curtain of what went on. And so I was like, why would the Saints trade Joe Horn like in the preseason like this? Well, when Zach Thomas told me that, it all made a lot more sense. And the circle was then connected.
Was Joe Horn the one who did the cell phone thing in the celebration on the goalpost? Was that Joe Horn?
I think so. Him and T.O. were like battling.
Yeah, back and forth, right. And then Chad Johnson got in there also.
And Chad Johnson got in it. Jack from Columbus wins the Table for 10 to the Sports Trivia Cup.
We've got some sports trivia legends here in Ohio, Central Ohio.
Mark the Shark.
Mark the Shark. We've got Willie Gibson, who won the ESPN show.
Oh, really?
It was no, not that one. The 2-minute drill that was hosted by Kenny Mayne.
Yeah.
And he won that back-to-back seasons. And he lives here in the Columbus area also. So, I mean, I'm telling you, Shark, and I don't know how we're associated, if we're even eligible, but I'm telling you, Shark, you and Willie and I, we can go in there and make some hay.
Oh, yeah.
You say that like you might go, or you just saying that for radio effect?
No, I'm not going.
Why not?
It's next Saturday.
It's, okay, whatever. It's the 26th of April. It'd be fun.
I'm busy that day.
You're not busy that day.
I am.
What are you doing?
I'm going to see the Neil Diamond, what's it called? Beautiful Noise at the Ohio Theater.
You would rather go see that than play sports trivia on a team with me and Willie.
Wait, is that actually Neil Diamond, or is that
It's not Neil Diamond. He's got something where he can't sing anymore.
You're right. I think, is it dementia he's got? You're right. He got something. I just tried to give him dementia. I shouldn't do that. I should not be irresponsible.
Maybe it's Parkinson's. Something like that, yeah.
All right. By the way.
Diamond. What does he have?
What does Neil Diamond have? He got Joe Horn.
Is that real?
I don't know. I would say Urban Dictionary, Joe Horn, see what pops up. But
that was the first time I'd heard that retired.
Have you used it since then? Like I'm saying, have you used it in phrase with other people?
Yeah, I've told other people that. Like,
I think that's a good phrase. I'm going to adopt it.
I think that's the first time I've told that story, like on air publicly.
Yes, it is, Bob. I've never heard it before, and I've worked with you for 4 years and 8 months.
And I don't think I told it when I was with Rothman either. But the thing is, though, Shark, at this age, some of the stories I've told you, you've heard for the first time multiple times.
Yes, indeed. A lot of it.
How great is that? Like,
it's good. You tell it like it's the first time you've ever told it, Bob.
And you get to hear it because it might be the first time, at least in that remembrance of it, that you've heard it.
We're going to do that. I heard about the shoehorn.
We're going to talk about that, how much it costs to put a winning team on the floor in college basketball. We'll do that later on in the show. But I want to tell you right now, you can join the fan on Saturday, June 21st in Westerville for the inaugural 971 The Race. Register now at 971therace.com. Join Common Man, T-Bone, and Tyvis Powell on June 21st for a day of activities, food, live music, and fun. The race includes a 1-mile walk/run.
I think it's called Reese's Run, actually.
A 5K fun run.
You got usurped.
And if you're a total psycho,
Joe Horned,
a 9.71 kilometer run. We'd like to think of this as more.
What is it? I guess for 97. There you go.
Yeah, 9.71.
That's the one Tito's going to be running. 9.71
meters. We'd like to think of this as more fun, less run, but our insurance says we can't give you free beer unless there's fitness involved. So come out, do some moving, then hang with us on June 21st. We can't take credit for the timing, but June is Men's Health Month, so let's be active together. Come do it with us on Saturday, June 21st in Westerville, 971therace.com to register for more information on the 9.71 The Race.
Neil Diamond did announce publicly that he, in January of 2018, that he was suffering from Parkinson's. So you were correct in that. Who said that? You, Shark?
He said, I gave him dementia. Shark gave him. Yeah, Shark gave him Parkinson's. By the way, Willie just texted me, Shark, and said, tell Shark to come on. So it feels like you should probably skip the Neil Diamond thing.
I got to see Neil Diamond with my wife.
Well,
I can't make her go by herself.
Listen,
okay, bring her along.
Does she like Neil Diamond as much as you?
No.
Shark, if you're going to go to that, make it something that she enjoys. And then
she enjoys my singing, and I'll probably sing every song.
Why not bring
Sweet
her?
Caroline?
Yeah.
Why don't we bring her to the sports?
Blue Jeans?
Bring her to the sports trivia thing.
She would enjoy that even less.
She can wear headphones and listen to Neil Diamond music like she's there.
Sung blue.
How about I just sing them all for you?
All right.
Will Ferrell does a great Neil Diamond.
Forever in Blue Jeans.
Forever. They're coming to America. On the boats and on the trains.
They're coming to America.
We sang that in music class in like 6th grade.
Are we getting fined for this?
Looking back again. Oh, of course. I sound just like Neil Diamond.
I'm just saying. You don't sound quite like Neil Diamond. You sound like Dustin Diamond. It's
also dead.
Also dead. Yes. It's Friday. We're going to spend some time in the Hawk's Nest. AJ joins us next. Morning Juice.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. No crashes that we're watching right now. Starting to see things pick up on the east side on I-70, but overall crash free. Make it a great day and a great weekend. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tuning into your favorite team's game or actually going to the stadium is better when you feel at your best. If something's not quite right, reduce tension and pain and increase flexibility with expert assisted stretching at Stretch Lab. Each session is customized to your body's needs with your unique goals in mind. Visit your local Stretch Lab today or go to stretchlab.com to get up to 50% off your first 50-minute stretch. Plus, get an additional $10 off with code FAN10. That's code FAN10 at stretchlab.com.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Oh, indeed, it is Morning Juice. That's, we are just flying by.
Oh.
Exit ramps and just going through all the way until 9 o'clock.
I forgot.
No Hawk today, by the way.
No Hawk's Nest today. Hawk's Nest is already in Vegas. Pat's out there. They're doing their show there today. They're actually doing their show there Monday. And so this is no lie. I sat there Monday night. I was up at Eversall Middle School in Dublin. Our daughters are playing lacrosse against each other, which is always fun. Like, I get to sit there. I get to joke. I should have given you the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon from Good Will Hunting. I always say, like, that's when he jokes about them, having cookouts, watching their kids play sports, 20 years later. I got to live that. I get to live that with one of my good friends, so it's awesome. Watching our daughters and sons play against and with each other sometimes. But I was like, oh, you're going to be out there with Pat. I'm like, that's great, man. I'm like, we can hang out, maybe grab dinner or something. I'm going to have Caleb. He's like, well, I'm flying out Thursday with Pat, and then after the show Friday, I'm flying back. And I was like, oh, man, that stinks. And he's like, but then I'm flying back Sunday night for the show on Monday and then flying back Monday afterward. And I'm like, why? It's Easter weekend. He's like, I want to be back, right. Easter. I'm like, so you're telling me you're flying to Las Vegas from Columbus? This isn't like you're flying to, like, Washington, D.C. or New York or Chicago, Atlanta, like an hour flight. I mean, I flew in 2 years ago, or I guess 3 now, for the C.J. Stroud, the game against Georgia,
right?
In the at the Sugar Bowl, or not Sugar Bowl, at the Peach Bowl,
right
down there for that, and I didn't stay for the game. I literally flew in the night before, did media day in the morning with XM, flew back out, but that's like an hour flight.
Sure,
it's no big deal, and I did it once, and then I didn't turn around and fly back. AJ is flying out there to do the show with Pat, so he flew out last night. Doing the show today, getting on a plane, getting back here to Columbus, he said, at like 1 in the morning.
Right.
Or like 11 o'clock or whatever. Getting done, because like there's only, I think, 1 or 2 directs a day on Southwest, and there's not there's not one after the show.
No.
So he's flying back, going to get back super late tonight, and then hang out tomorrow and Sunday, then get on a flight Sunday, get in whatever, Sunday evening, do the show with Pat, and then fly back out again on Monday.
That's amazing.
I'm like, that sounds atrocious. I go, why don't you just stay? Bring the family. I go, hey, Caleb's coming. Bring Axie and Vetter.
Sure.
His 2 youngest boys. They're right around his age. I go, we hang out. He's like, I don't know, Bob. I already got it all set up. And, I mean, these are commercial flights. Like, it's not like he's flying private. I mean, he's going to have layovers. It's going to be atrocious.
I think he's
a psychopath.
This weekend's a great opportunity for you and Caleb and Artie to bond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what believe me, I'm not taking any more kids than I need to. My dad's like, I thought you were going to take, like, Cullen or Archie. I'm like, well, Cullen is on Caleb's axis of evil right now because he makes fun of him, and, like, they're not friends, and they're the closest 2 boys at the bottom. I was like, RJ, I guess he could come, but I go, I'm already asking people for stuff. I don't want to manage more children out there than I need to. I really don't want to expose more of my children to Vegas before they need to go. I go, it's not really a winning proposition. So I get why AJ's doing it. Like, I'm not a huge Vegas guy. Last time I went was a couple years ago. Went out to with our carpenter HVAC and plumbing company. Go out with Brian, had a big convention. And we went out there with Brian, and it was like 6 days, dude.
That's long, too long for Vegas, yeah.
Too long.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. I wanted to leave with 2 days left. I mean, I was sad that I had to stay, but we had to finish the deal up, and I get it. It was whatever.
If you think I'm going to sit here and let you just speak ill of Cullen, you've lost your mind.
I know you say he's your favorite.
He's my favorite carpenter.
He's hot and cold. When he's good, he's the best. When he's
the
bad,
most polite.
He's one of the worst.
Whenever
he's good most of the time.
Yeah.
Like most kids. I know. You love him. Polite,
Yes.
very respectful. He's awesome. He gets in a mood every once in a while, and then we go downhill. But he's 11 years old, so it's okay. I mean, his emotional regulation isn't quite there yet, and I don't expect it to be for him. But the last time I was in Vegas, for a while I'd only gone to Vegas with AJ.
Right.
And we went twice. We went in college once. That was the first time. I was talking to, I can't remember, someone yesterday about building up your immunity and what that looks like.
Right.
He's like, oh, yeah, you eat stuff, let it fall on the floor, everything, take care of it, all that. I'm like, yeah, that's good. I go, I used to, I ate a hamburger one time. It was actually somewhere with the Woody. I go, I ate a hamburger one time off of a half-eaten hamburger, I might add, off of a room service tray that was outside at about 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night in Treasure Island in 2004. Ran through all my money, didn't have anything, and I was really hungry, fit off. And that hamburger had like 1 or 2 bites out of it.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to take that knife, I'm going to cut the bit part off. And someone goes, well, they probably held it with the other part of their hands. I'm like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But I didn't care at the time, and I was really hungry.
And you survived.
And I survived.
Glory Gaynor, you survived. Bobby, I mentioned the perm earlier.
A permanent?
Yes. When I was in the 4th grade, I got a perm.
Was this before or after your dad took you to the tanning bed, of which you were not getting in the tanning bed,
No.
but he felt it appropriate to bring you with him to his tanning bed experience?
He had visitation rights that day, and that was one of the things we did. Ran some errands and things like that, and went to the tanning bed. That's where I met Jimmy Crum. Sportscaster legend here on Channel 4 for
Did
years.
he have one of his patented jackets
He had
on?
a jacket on. Yep, he had that jacket on also. But I got a perm in the 4th grade. And
sounds amazing.
But the reason why I got the perm is what's the funny part of the story. I got a perm.
You look like Tom
There's a
Brady,
school picture. No,
off the Brady Bunch?
I got the perm because my dad and uncles got perms also.
Oh, that's great. So you guys are like a little perm family.
There was my dad with 3 of his brothers and him all had perms. I got a perm. I know, Shark, you had one.
I had one in high school.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like this.
Big old afro.
Yeah.
Mine was really big.
20-some years later, my brother got a perm.
Really?
When he was in college. He had a sweet, little mullet cut.
Right.
And then he got a perm. And I don't know if you guys remember, you're a little bit older for this, but Saved by the Bell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a straight Mario Lopez,
Yeah.
AC Slater. I've got a sweet picture when he was playing at Cincinnati. I mean, and his was like a little, orange Auburn mane, and that thing looked amazing.
Yeah, I never picked mine. Like I'm used to pick, so it looked like a haphazardly put together bird's nest.
You ever thought about getting a perm again?
I don't think my wife would let me.
Why? What do you mean?
I don't think she'd let me get a perm. I would get one though. I would get one.
Start growing your hair, and then one day show back up with the perm.
Maybe I'll.
What should you do? Shave your head?
No, but there's other ways to show displeasure and punishment. I guess is what I would say to that one. I don't know. But you know what, though?
I already saw some of the whip marks on your back. So
you haven't seen the tattoo on the small of my back yet either. But yeah, that's all punishment stuff for things I've done.
But some of that you ask for.
I did ask for some of it. You're right. Yes,
literally ask for it.
I asked for the tattoo. I didn't ask for the wording that she used on the tattoo though back there. That's all. All right, coming up next. Boy, we went off the rails in a tremendous way. We'll reveal a fan poll, and I'll also tell you about that college basketball stuff I've been teasing now for the last hour. That's all next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Watching crews clear out a small issue on I-270 southbound near Gahanna. The left lane blocked off near Hamilton Road, but everything else looking nice and clear here on your Friday. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinder Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters, while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at hindermotorcompany.com.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco.
ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Oh, hey, a fan show where you can be the star. Sundays at 11, it's the new Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Your calls, your tweets, your voicemails, your opinions. You can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. The Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Sundays at 11 on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
If you missed any of today's show, and by the way, quite frankly, I wouldn't blame you if you did. But the Morning Juice podcast, you can pick that up. Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use the promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. That's Just Sports is that promo code. But go check out the podcast. So they do sponsor that for us as well.
Tyleek Williams on Good Morning Football right now.
Oh, there you go.
Buckeye defensive tackle.
There you go.
Looking good.
Bobby, the wife, has already said no on the perm.
I think that'd be a great...
You know what?
Tuesday, I think we might have to reconsider that. You know, there might be some announcements coming, and
could be.
Perm might need to get back into the saddle.
I would do. Listen, I would only do it though if there was some kind of like. I remember when.
Well, it's part of the bit.
I remember when I got my vasectomy. Speaking of perms,
first or second?
The only vasectomy. When I got the one, I wouldn't do it until the Fan got $500 donations through Ohio Food Bank. I remember doing that. Mid-Ohio Food Bank or Food Bank. Emily was the one who set it up. Yeah. Okay. So if they got a $500 donations in donations, the Fan would match it, and then I'd get a vasectomy. Now, for the perm, if there's some other kind of way we could tie this into a charity, I'm much more likely to be able to do it. I don't know what that would be, but I don't know how we need to workshop that a little bit. By the way, today
we could figure out a good cause.
We found a good cause, yes. Honestly, it might be for a divorce lawyer, the way my wife's talking right now about me getting a perm. Today's Fan Poll, 971thefan.com, is sponsored by Caster Connection. Who had the best career? This is a callback to our third segment of the program about the 2004 NFL Draft. Who had the best career? Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. Your three choices. Right now, Roethlisberger leads the way. Eli second, Rivers third. But I think that it should be Rivers second, Eli third. But nonetheless, best career, I guess you could put in the Super Bowl wins, though. That counts as well for that. Bobby, the $10 million club. This is on CBS Sports. College basketball, there are going to be there's a handful of programs that will spend $10 million next year on their rosters. They said that Arkansas, BYU, Duke, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisville, Michigan, North Carolina, St. John's, Texas Tech. And the talk on this was, in this article, again, CBS Sports, which was interesting to me, is there was a certain player who was on a mid-major, wasn't on the top three on his team in scoring. Mid-major team, not one of the top three scorers. And a school offered the player more than $500,000 to transfer.
Sounds great.
He didn't.
Even, you know what, man? Good for him.
No, wait.
Because someone else offered him more.
$1.2 million.
Even, there we go. I was going to say, great for him on getting the cash. Then great for him on looking past the dollars for being principled. But now even better because he garnered a higher amount.
A role player on a mid-major that failed to make the tournament will make $1.2 million next year.
What school is he going to?
They didn't say what school. All this was just unnamed sources that people want to speak.
He should talk to. Maybe Nico should talk to him and his people about how to negotiate and figure out your value.
Yes. An SEC assistant texted the writer of the story on Wednesday and said, "These numbers are insane. There's going to be 4 or 5 guys on my roster making way more than me."
There we go. That's good. That's now it's like professional sports.
So
players making more than the coaches.
Do you think Ohio State should get into that mix? Like,
who's paying for this?
I'm not sure. That you got to get Ohio State.
Ohio State, who's paying for it?
I don't know who's paying for it.
Are you talking about like for football or basketball?
For basketball.
I'm not saying that they're not going to put money out there, but here's the problem: the 2 biggest expenditures you had this year in the portal. How'd that turn out?
Oh, right, exactly. That's exactly right. Yes, it was awful.
You got to make sure you're getting the right guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, they don't have the. And here's what's interesting, you know, once you get to, if this house settlement actually comes to fruition, it'll basically be like a salary cap for everybody, and you won't be able to spend more than $20-some million for your whole athletic department. And so where are you going to allocate those resources?
Exactly. That's the thing. Like
now, guys who they say will be able to get like actual NIL deals outside, and given it's Ohio State and the gravity of the program, in Columbus, Ohio, like people will be able to monetize it outside, which is actually how it was intended. But I don't know if you're going to be able to see that level, like the level of commitment for Ohio State basketball that you would have at Duke. Like that's going to be inverted at the two places between football and basketball. That's just how it is. And so then how are you able to then build that and be creative with, if you're Jake, around those things? And here's some of your natural constraints, and let's see what we're able to do and how we're able to build this thing.
I think that Ohio State fans, I think I said that on this program, another one, but Ohio State fans will want they want the basketball team to be more competitive and on a different level.
100%.
But not at the expense of money that could be going towards football.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants, everything.
Right.
They want Ohio State to be Bama in football, Kentucky in basketball, and Stanford and everything else.
Yes.
I go, it's
unrealistic.
Unrealistic. It's virtually impossible. And Ohio State's done a pretty good job of it over the last 15, 20 years. I understand the basketball team has struggled a little bit the last 4 or 5. You're talking about a team that made 4 straight Sweet 16s, 2 Final Fours under Thad. And then has won 3 national championships in the last quarter century. Oh, and by the way, has won multiple national titles across just a pantheon of other sports.
Yeah.
Women's hockey, tennis.
Yeah.
Our pistol and rifle, the synchronized swimming. The soccer team's been good. They were in the semifinal. Like the girls' soccer team's been good. Softball, baseball, like everything has been pretty good at points in time. Like it's not for a lack of effort and dedication. The swimming team, I think, finished fairly high this year. Golf had they've been doing well in everything.
Yeah.
Wrestling, they just had another national champion, but Tom Ryan's won a national championship. The men's lacrosse team has played for a national title. Heck, they were ranked 2nd in the country. Like all of these different things. The girls lacrosse team was ranked high. Like they've middled it about as well as you can for something that is this big and has been good at everything. Because Stanford football has had a run, but look at what they've done like the last 5 to 7 years. And it's not like their basketball team's all that great. Now, they're great in a lot of other sports. But like I said, it's tough to be the interscholastic traditional model, which is Stanford, and then also be SEC football or Kentucky, Duke, Kansas basketball. Like those 3 things, I joke when you got to college, people always said, there's 3 things you can do at college when you're playing. You can play your sport, you can study, or you can party. And you only really have time for 2 of them. So I tried to middle the other 2.
Bobby, I think that, and I don't mean this to besmirch the basketball program at all. I'm just saying that, no doubt about it, football runs this thing. And I hope the 100%. Basketball team, and I believe that Diebler's the right guy.
Diebler, I like Jake. I think he's going to do a great job. They had some issues this year, some things like when Bradshaw and Michie don't pan out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want him to do.
Yeah.
But they've got Thornton's coming back. Like they feel like they're in a good spot with where they're at moving forward. Give him it's his first year. If we're having the same conversation next year at this time, okay, well then, you know what? That's a different story.
Yep. But so it'll be interesting to see, like in your some of the schools that don't care about football. They're going to put all that, St. John's, all that money goes into basketball. What are they going to do? It's all going to go there. And rightfully so. But you get these schools, though, that don't have prominent football programs or have very low expectations for football programs. They're going to have a lot of money towards basketball. So
the reality is, I don't know, they'll have a lot, but football is where all the money is made.
Yeah, it is.
Like that's where it's all derived in the TV contract. So if you don't have a prominent football program, I'm not sure how much revenue you're bringing in.
Right. Yep. By the way, stick around today at 9:30. Aaron Portsline. Porty will be on with Bishop and Friends. 2:30. Jensen Lewis will be on Rothman and Ice. Adam King filling in for Matty Ice today, and also the Buckeye Show tonight from 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, this will be a banger.
Do we know who's driving it? Do we know for sure? Is it Tim May or Tim? Tim May's driven it before.
Maybe it's like a plane, a jet, where each one of them's got a steering wheel.
Going to do something.
And you both be a driver.
Maybe it's Bodie.
You know what? That's the money. The money's on Bodie doing it right now.
Maybe it's more like a circus and Bodie's the ringmaster.
That could be it right there. Much like this show where Shark runs things for us here. But it's been a lot of fun, Bobby. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shark. Yes, I've enjoyed this.
Speaking for me?
No, speaking for me. And I don't even know if the listeners enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it. Bobby, enjoy Vegas. Travel safely. We'll see.
Your pleasure is all that matters.
That's all that matters. Hey, That's the tattoo. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. Coming up next, Bishop and Friends, 97.1 The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We're not tracking any major crashes on your Friday. Everything looking nice and clear. Make it a great day and a great weekend. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Guess what? It's driving season, friends, and my friends at Germain Lexus are ready for you with their most popular models on the lot and ready to go with special APRs as low as 3.99%, up to 48 months, or 4.49%, up to 60 months with low lease payments starting at $389 per month on the 2025 NX. And if you're looking for a TX, they're finally available for immediate delivery. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, germainlexus.com.
Spring forward, Columbus, with the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling Services. We're here to thaw you out with this limited time offer. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer is too good to pass up. The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling now together to serve you better with $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer won't last. Call us today, 614-232-2222. That's 614-232-2222.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, better.
Hear that? That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious blueberries, money saved. A creamy treat of cookie dough ice cream, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also 10 points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Hi, this is Bob Mashetter from Dick Mashetter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at mashetterford.net. Thanks.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.